What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. And behind me is my dog Thor. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I did a triathlon and that is what this video is all about. Today, I'm super excited to once again bring you some information. Prior to my Ironman, I did a large focus on training. I know, shocker, but I definitely want to kind of bring some of the things that I wish I knew, I'm glad I knew, any of those kind of things into videos after, and that's what I'm here today. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the best tips that I read or watched from other YouTubers, any other like Facebook group, and took those into the swimming portion of the event. If you are watching and you're like most people that are trying to do some sort of triathlon or Ironman, you're like, oh my goodness, the swimming portion gives me so much anxiety, which is super valid. It definitely did for myself as well. And that's why I'm relaying some of those tips to you so that hopefully you just kind of can take one or two of these today from this video and utilize them in your training if you're beginning, or even if you're about to do your first Ironman and you're like, that actually might be really helpful. So make sure you stay tuned right till the end. I also will say, please, if you haven't yet, make sure you're subscribed. Very few people that actually watch my videos have subscribed. I do get way more viewers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, I really do appreciate it. It's the smallest way of showing your appreciation for a free service like this of my channel. So I'm gonna start from scratch. Maybe you are about to go into the pool, or you've only been into the pool a few times, a handful of times. You have not even gone into the open water and you're freaking out just a little bit. Totally valid. For starters, don't get in on the deeper end of the pool, but start by going down into the ladder and just go down slowly. Of course, in most pools, they're heated, so you're not getting a huge shock of coldness when you enter, but just start in that shallow end. I actually recommend just putting your arms out in front, onto the wall, onto anything that you can hold onto, and always having a feeling of feeling something always really helps anyone with anxiety. I definitely am someone who has anxiety in their everyday life, and I know being able to feel things really does help. From there, you can hold the wall and just start to kick. Just start to kick, get the feeling of being in the water, getting that feeling of being under you, and of course you're not going to go forward because you're going against the wall and you're holding on. You even can kind of just do some practice little strokes here and there and just get a bit of a feeling. The other thing to remember when you are in that part of the pool is you can always be dropping down your legs and actually touching the ground. Again, you're actually touching something. Maybe that anxiety will really help by not that feeling of a panic, of that feeling that I'm going to drown. I will say I was not someone who was in the pool a lot, but the pool definitely wasn't something that freaked me out. I would say open water freaked me out. So I was honestly able to start more from what I'm going to say now. And that would actually be the stroke. So for me, it was not every 3, it was just every on my left side. I took a breath and continued. Of course, there's tons of technique that can be involved in getting your swim time a little bit faster, but for now, you're just wanting to stay alive, stay calm, stay breathing, all of those kind of things. So, of course, once I'm talking about anxiety in your senses, one of the senses is more hearing. So when you're underwater, you're probably not going to hear a lot. So one of the things is actually when you're breathing out, to be humming, and this will actually ensure you know you're breathing out. I honestly read this one. I really liked it. I did try it a few times, but I was like, well, I'm not really feeling panicked. But the first time I actually open water swam, I felt like I didn't panic because I knew it wasn't the ocean, it was a lake, and like I felt like I could see the ground, but it freaked me out that like I started from way back there, and that's gonna be quite a ways until I actually can get back there again. I ended up remembering this one, and I'm really glad that I did, and I'm really glad that I utilized it, and I did remember it for the Ironman. Again, I saw this one so many times, and it just felt like it stuck to me. It was, and you're breathing out, and then of course you're breathing in once you're actually back, and you're back to that humming, and I've heard that so many times. So make sure you keep that one in mind for sure, going into actually starting your lap in the pool. This one might be just me, but I hope that it does help someone out there, and that would be know that you're probably going to panic. That sounds really silly, but I feel like getting ahead of the feeling actually gives you control over that feeling. So when I went into my Ironman New Zealand was the only mass start of an Ironman in the world. It was just like swarmed of people. They kept calling it like the start was called a washing machine, and I was like, oh great. And you know, the wetsuit itself is just a lot tighter around my neck than I'm used to. So it was just a feeling of, you're probably gonna panic, Laura. Know that if you do panic, you can flip onto your back, and guess what? You get to float. You just get to sit there and you get to just like go into your happy place, or take 5, you know, big deep breaths and feel yourself exhaling, any of those kind of things. And honestly, knowing that like this isn't going to be a fun beginning of the swim, but get into your groove once you kind of find your place. Just knowing that, and so many people saying you're probably gonna freak out during the swim. Oh my goodness, you see so many people. And I feel like those people might have had a huge fear of the water, but I feel like they were like, oh, but probably maybe like Ironman day, I won't freak out, or they got into their head too much. But I just feel like having confidence that this is something that I want to do, this is something that I need to get through in order to get to the other 2 events. And if I freak out, here are the things that I'm going to then do in order for me to still get to that goal. And knowing that really actually helped me. Just helped me, you know, that I know that you know, gun is gonna go off and it's gonna start. I know that that's gonna be a really weird feeling a couple minutes in, to be like, okay, you still got a while more. But for me, it was confidence, believing in myself, but also believing that I probably will panic. And if I do, I have the tools in place to keep going. The final goal that I do have for you today is actually going to be improving your swim. And of course, you could watch a million videos on this. But one of the biggest things that I definitely found was just filming myself. So in the swimming pool that I went to, it definitely said no swimming. So I'm not trying to say film yourself around a bunch of people. That probably makes people uncomfortable, and there's probably rules in your swim center. But every once in a while, I didn't have it planned, but all of a sudden the pool would be empty. And so I would actually just grab my camera and just do a little bit of video analysis, and I definitely found that super helpful. I wanted to keep this video as short and sweet as possible, but I hope that you did enjoy those tips. Let me know if any of them were helpful. If you do utilize them in the future, let me know some of your goals so that I can virtually be cheering you on as you go in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Keep living life. Bye.